so I manned up and got Game Pass back because they dropped the prices.
I saw that they dropped the prices. Like they probably lost so much money from people. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's still 22 instead of 30.
Plus, I'm thinking what happened was they thought that people would be a little bit more
Happy
with some of the content that was available through the Game Pass, which I think one of them was Call of Duty and Activision or whoever the fuck. But COD is being taken off of Game Pass. Like the past 2 Call of Duties were free with Ultimate Game Pass.
Yeah.
And now they're like the newest one is not going to be.
Yeah, it's like you have to wait a year or something like that.
And buy the goddamn game the right way.
Yeah, I mean,
but if you want to play Call of Duty,
I'll play it, but then, it's like you start playing something and then you get your ass beat over and over, and how much fun is that over time?
That's literally what I feel like that's what I've been going through lately, and I am trying to find that there are like 3 games off the top of my head that I can think of that are coming out right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Safely Controlled Podcast. My name is Matt. With me always is my co-host, Rob. We read SCPs here. And,
believe it or not.
This is part of our coffee break because we just got started. So hold on a second. We're going to read SCPs. Just give me a second.
Sure.
I want to say in 2 weeks or less time is Directive 8020 from Supermassive Games. That's one of those like movie horror games.
Okay.
It's like a movie video
like
game.
a Telltale?
Yeah, but it's the same people that made the Dark Pictures games that I played on my channel before. It's the same fucking developers and shit like that. I think it was supposed to be having some sort of connection with the Dark Pictures anthology, like the start of season 2, but I don't think that it is anymore. Oh yeah, you know what? That game comes out like next week. In 2 weeks, the new Forza Horizon comes out.
I already pre-installed it on my
and
PC.
I'm gonna play the fuck out of that.
It's in Japan.
Huh?
Last year was Mexico. This year's Japan.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play the shit out of that because I love fucking Forza.
Yeah.
Or I like Horizon the most. And then James Bond's game,
the
first
007?
Yeah, it comes out at the end of the month.
Is it a remake?
No. It's a brand new game. It's like Hitman.
Oh, okay, but it's
like,
James Bond. Yeah.
It's like 20-year-old James Bond.
Yeah.
Like brand new baby face James
Bond.
Bond.
It's not a
Like he's the beginning origin story.
Origin story of a new James Bond.
Yeah. Something like that.
That's cool.
Seems amazing. I haven't been excited about a James Bond game in a very long time.
Or anything James Bond, really.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan. The movies. I've seen like Pierce Brosnan's GoldenEye and World Is Not Enough. I've seen Casino Royale.
Yeah.
I think I watched the one that was like it was Snowfall.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the movie?
No, I'm confusing it with something else.
Or something like that as well. That's the thing about James Bond. I think, hey, what would James Bond do? That's a throwback.
Yeah, isn't it?
There's so many different characters in movies of James Bond. It's kind of like Batman.
Yeah.
Where I'd rather watch Batman. I'd rather the billionaire douchebag with no skills, just all tech and gadgets and money. That's all Batman is.
Yeah, I know. But he has to be somewhat.
Got some skill.
He has to be somewhat athletic.
He's got some skill. He's got more skill than Tony Stark does. For today's episode, by the way, thank you for anybody that has been, listening, liking, commenting, or even subscribing to this channel for this podcast in particular. We're just trying to grow it a little bit more. So one thing that we used to do was Coffee Talk, or we're shortening that into Coffee Break. So that was the first one. We get like, I don't know, 1 or 2 more because we're trying to focus a little bit more up on the SCPs.
Yeah.
Me and Rob actually both started a new job recently, and we work at the same place again for like the third time.
Yeah, this is number 3.
Yeah. So our schedule has been kind of whacked. Some of these episodes were like one of the last episodes that came out was the jokes. There was me and Anna reading the joke ones, and then you reading the joke ones.
Yeah.
We recorded those in back-to-back days. It was like a Saturday and a Sunday, and they came out like a month apart from each other. Oh. It was crazy.
I guess if we're not referencing anything that's going on in the world, we're okay.
Well, no, but I clocked it. I was like, oh, this isn't going to come out for a while. And I was like, oh, my God, I was right. Because we were planning a little bit ahead and, dealing with the schedule changes and shit like that. I think we packed on like 3 or 4.
It's working out.
I think I missed a week just because I'm stupid.
Plus, sometimes you just need a little. Not saying this is what's the word I'm looking for? Like hard to do, but
Right.
Just want to change it up here and there.
So the thing that we forgot to do in all of our pre-recordings and trying to slam everything together so we didn't have to do much in the month of April, we forgot to do an Anna's Bananas for the month of April. So now we're behind on that. So I figured if the first one that we're going to read is short enough, we can read 2 today.
Whatever. Sounds
Probably just cram them into the same episode, but I need to catch up on Anna's Bananas. So we have read, by the way, here's boom, here's the fucking
boom.
Here's the list of Anna's Bananas. We have read 5798, we have read 2701, and we have read 3404. So that leaves us with a odd number. So I made Anna pick today's SCP.
All right.
Because obviously this is her list, so I'm going to go off of whatever her suggestions are. So Anna wants us to read SCP 342. I just have to make it bigger.
Yeah, you do. 342?
342, titled A Ticket to Ride.
Oh, like
Which
the Beatles
is,
song.
There's also I think there's a game or something that I'm thinking of that's called A Ticket to Ride.
I believe so.
The picture that shows up is a collage of different manifestations of 342 put together in one picture. A manifestation. Well, I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Here are the special containment procedures. SCP feet. Oh, that's not a good start.
Right in the beginning, right out the gate.
This is going to be a great episode. SCP-342 can be safely stored in its case file folder in an envelope stapled to the inside cover, as it poses no danger so long as it is not actively used. Said case file folder should be kept in a secure file cabinet in high-value item storage. Oh, yo. It's high value item storage, but high items value HIV.
Oh.
I thought that's what it said. I'm dyslexic. And protected. I thought it said.
Yeah. I see what you see.
Yeah. And protected by a standard array of biological, chemical, and mimetic and physical positive action defenses.
So it seems like it's protected.
The description of 342 normally takes form of a mass transit ticket for the closest form of mass transportation to its current location. Maybe the closest form of mass transportation. So that's so cool. Like already, that's super dope to me.
Yeah.
So what is mass to you besides
more
a plane?
than one?
Okay,
more than a few. Like if
a bus,
a taxi
train.
could be mass because you could take a whole bunch of people in it. Anything that's more than one. A bicycle is not mass transportation.
Okay, cool. I mean, that makes sense. What, like a trolley?
Trolley, yeah. Anything a bunch of people can get on would be considered.
Well, I mean, a bunch of people could get on one singular bike. Just saying.
Could, like a Chinese circus.
No, I'm talking. What are the fucking tandem bike things?
Oh yeah, the ones like on the TV commercial where they're all riding into that stupid
that fucking
portal.
FanDuel commercial.
That FanDuel, yeah.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. Anyway,
yeah.
Mass. It's a ticket for mass transportation. Right. At the moment, it takes the form of a train ticket departing from an unknown station. When held by a sentient person for any length of time, it will eventually change form into a transit ticket for a form of transportation its holder desires to use.
Okay.
Oh, this is becoming cooler. This transformation always takes place when not being directly or indirectly observed. No recordings of 342 changing form exists at this time. 342 is indistinguishable from any valid transit ticket and may be used as such.
So let's say you have the ticket and you've always wanted to be on a maglev train.
Right.
Well, then when nobody's looking at the ticket, it'll change to a maglev schedule because they can't record the change. It hasn't been recorded. Okay.
Oh, so that's what that is then. It's like these are all different tickets.
Ticket routes or train routes or wherever, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm thinking.
So, next part is, should SCP-342 be validated by stamp, have its ticket stub torn off, or be disposed of, it will reform itself into an unused ticket after a short period of time. The Foundation personnel should be on site to recover 342 after its conclusion of any field experiments.
Okay.
Anyone who uses 342 to board a vehicle is unable to exit said vehicle by any means. Okay, now I don't want it. Once the vehicle ends its route and ceases movement, the user will disappear from this reality. Oh!
Yeah, see, there you go.
Okay.
It just went.
Users report a mounting feeling of dread prior to boarding the vehicle, which increases during the course of the journey, accumulates in panic-inducing terror shortly before disappearance.
Fuck this.
Specific phenomena often resembles acute paranoid schizophrenia and includes a perception of increased darkness of the sky outside the vehicle, fog, premature night, or most frequent dreary, depressing weather. Auditory hallucinations, most frequently misperception of normal announcements by drivers and passengers. Example, an announcement of the next stop is heard as a declaration that the user will never stop.
Attention, all passengers. We're going to be flying out of Pittsburgh today. The weather's beautiful, sunny, 78. And people hear that and they think, the world's ending!
It's just like it's the normal announcement.
Jesus.
But what they hear is, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Yeah.
We're going to do a completely unorthodox takeoff this evening.
Barrel roll.
I don't feel like landing this on the runway. I'm gonna crash this bitch into the Atlantic Ocean. Everybody hold the fuck on.
Kobe.
Other phenomena include normal objects such as other passengers and non-threatened items suddenly taking a threatening tone or appearance. Oh, so I mean, okay.
Like your
That's why you shouldn't have
your fold down tray is gonna eat you.
Yeah, it just starts chomping at you like a mimic.
Yeah.
An almost pathological fear of drivers, conductors, and other transit staff. So, even if you were on a fucking plane, the pilots and all the stewardess,
Everyone's against you. Dude, this is gonna give some a heart attack.
Oh shit! The absolute knowledge that it is impossible to get off.
That's never good.
Well, that just okay. So now I'd rather, I guess.
Well,
a cruise ship is mass transit.
yes, it is.
You can't get off the cruise ship?
You could.
Just saying. The inability to perceive other passengers exiting and entering the vehicle. User reports that other passengers appear to simply appear and vanish from their seats, and in some cases cannot perceive that a passenger has exited the vehicle, continuing to see them in their seats. And last, the inability to hear or perceive attempts to calm or reason with them.
So they just freak out.
Yeah, they're just fucking sitting there.
Why would you even take it?
I guess that was the point, is they just saw the ticket. And
And then as soon as
one
they
of
got there,
and
they're
like,
fucked.
Oh, look, I have this ticket that I so desperately needed to get from this place to that place, and now I can actually do that thing.
Yeah.
Although the most acute experiences are limited to the user only, bystanders, including agents assigned to observe the subject, do not report feeling of uneasiness and will be compelled to exit the vehicle early, seeking other means of transportation.
Object was discovered in Chicago during the 1936
World Fair.
World Fair, I'm sure. Case was reopened several years later as it was hoped that advances in technology would allow for a deeper understanding of that. The ticket, I guess. It's a ticket. Let's just call it a ticket. Addendum 342B. The importance of retrieving SCP-342 after it's validated for travel cannot be understated. Please see the report referring Dr. Lank incident, in which 342 is not successfully retrieved after validation, resulting in a 6-month-long containment breach, causing the disappearances of several New York City civilians.
That's so funny.
Yeah. SCP's Foundation personnel are requested and required to use any means up to and including impersonation of a peace officer, intimidation, and threats and actual use of deadly force to retrieve the item.
This is a really dumb question. Do you need a ticket, like a physical ticket, to ride a subway in New York?
No, you pay the fare and you go through the
Turnstile.
thing, the turnstile.
And then that's how they know that you're allowed to be there.
Yeah, because you're in an area that people can't get into.
Some people used to jump over that shit, and now they probably can't.
Now they make it so you can't,
right.
Or there's like cages, there's
People
rotating
have, like,
cages.
Metro cards as well, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's like a pass. Yeah.
I was
back in my day. We had these little coins that you can get, like when you were buying a pack of cigarettes. Oh, let me get a coin, a sub coin, and then you get a coin, and you could use that to get through the turnstiles.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I've rode a subway before. I've rode the subway in Philly.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if I'm pretty.
I
sure,
mean, if you,
I'm pretty sure I just paid to get through the turnstile, but I don't remember a physical ticket or like a voucher maybe.
I mean, who knows? Now it might be like phone based, where you scan your phone.
We have the T in Pittsburgh, but that's free.
Yeah. Is it free?
It's free.
I didn't know.
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's free.
I don't know.
Plus, it's not
Never
that
been on it.
big either.
Well, yeah, it's just from south of Pittsburgh to the city.
Right.
Addendum 342C, Agent REDACTED's report. Our first experiment with the ticket had a Class D personnel member enter onto a bus using the object. We stationed agents at each of the stops to observe his behavior without actually entering into the vehicle, a precaution in case everyone who got on was in some way affected, and the old reports were vague in this area. Many times, he simply sat in place or paced up and down the aisles. Increasingly, he began to stare outside in horror, and the last few times we could not locate him. At the final point before the bus was to be parked for the night, we saw him pounding on the window with a pleading expression, screaming towards the agents for help as it pulled away, a strange mist filling much of the background behind him. And so he disappeared.
It's like it's a normal. Okay, speaking of Call of Duty, we'll throw it back to Call of Duty real quick. The zombie modes. Have you ever played them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you ever play the one with the bus?
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of immediately. It just imagine like you're on like a normal city bus, but then all of a sudden when you get on with that ticket, it turns into that fucking
weird.
The animatronic driver on the front of it.
Yeah,
and shit. I don't
yeah.
think he has a name, whatever. But and then zombies are just all over the place, maybe, and you're just fucking paranoid, pacing up and down the aisle.
Yeah, worst case scenario, that's kind of like what you're believing is happening. As we could not draw many conclusions from this event, we decided to track down some of the passengers and interrogate them to hopefully shed some light on what happened. Many were hesitant to talk or claimed that they did not notice anything, saying that they were preoccupied by something or distracted by illness, aches, or feelings of foreboding. We finally found some useful information from 3 boys, one 15-year-old Caucasian and 2 16-year-olds Hispanic, who were riding the bus near the front for the part of the trip. We were told that our test subject had tried to leave several times, but his pulling on the stop belt was always ignored, and the doors seemed to close right before he could get out. He would run and just not make it, or walk from a distance and get manipulated into the back of the line. Finally, he sat right at the head of the bus so he could be close enough to get out in time, but every chance he got, there were too many people swarming on or off for him to leave.
Wow, that's a fucking horror show.
Yeah,
that is actually
this it's painting it in your head so
especially
well.
if anybody deals bad with claustrophobia, this is not for them.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I think
claustrophobia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't.
Have you when you're like in a really when you're at a concert or there's tons of people around you, no anxiety?
No.
Okay, well,
not really.
Maybe it's because you're so damn tall.
Yeah, I stick out.
Yeah, so it's easy for you to just look down at everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how could anybody be scared in that situation?
Yeah,
you're taller than everybody else. Something about this event seemed to bother the boys. One of them was particularly irritated but could not explain the source. Under hypnosis, he described what to him was a moment of pure dread, that he had seen a few people in the crowd of passengers actually push the man back on, subtly hold him back or trip him, all while staring ahead innocently, like they didn't even notice they were doing it. Dude, that's nuts.
That's fucking...
Yeah.
Even now, even if I'm one of these kids, I'm fucking
Yeah, I'm freaking, right? Yeah. Finally, after shouting at the driver that he wanted to get off for a good 10 minutes, which the driver ignored, aside from requesting that the subject sit still and be quiet, the man went back to his seat, apparently giving up in despair. 2 of the boys said that the man actually shrieked and stumbled back to his seat in fright when the driver turned around at him. The other didn't realize that the 2 were in conflict, which is contrary to his usual habit of avidly looking for and watching fights on the particularly inner city particularly rough.
Particularly.
Yeah, particularly. All right, you good? Let me read this damn sentence.
No, don't read it over again. Just go to the next one.
Oh, it's horrible. All right, fine.
It made me laugh.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
After going back to his seat, the boy said they promptly forgot about the subject, most likely because he wasn't struggling anymore. The next time they saw him, he was 3 seats back, then 5, then 7, but at no point could they recall him stand up from his seat to move further back. That's like when you're like a cat stalking, you turn your head and then you turn back and he's closer. Probably the same fucking thing. This is all they could tell us, and it seemed like it cost them plenty to even reveal this. On a side note, at the end of our session, the youngest team screamed, "It was like it swallowed him in the end," and promptly had to be hospitalized for extreme psychosis.
Oh, the teen had to be promptly hospitalized for extreme psychosis.
Yeah, because the guy got eaten.
He just got
swallowed by the mist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't like this anymore. I don't want the ticket. I thought I wanted the ticket at the beginning. It sounded dope.
Yeah,
and then, of course, it just turns into a fucking nightmare.
It doesn't come with a disclaimer, I don't think.
Hey, Subway experiment.
All right, before we do that, I'm going to go get a drink. Unless you want to read, I'll be right back.
My leg hurts.
I wish my walls were as rough as yours.
I don't like that, though.
I love it when I'm trying to scratch my back.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But, like, you got that pattern and shit, like the ceiling in there.
Popcorn, they call it like.
I don't like it.
Well, it's the way they used to do it. They don't really do it anymore.
Even
it's like it looks old.
The walls in my bedroom, like the bedroom that I had at my parents' house, was like that as well. I was like,
that's what they did.
I told him, I'm like, why the fuck do people do this? He's like, it is just like a way, it's a style of doing it. And I was like, so how do you get rid of it? He's like,
scrape
you
it.
don't.
You can scrape it.
Because you can fucking run it down with some sandpaper. It's going to take you forever.
Or just get a flat trowel and fill it in flat.
And then just have like an inch of paint.
Or whatever, primer and then paint, whatever would fill in the gaps.
I don't know how to paint. My dad's a painter.
What do you mean you don't know how to paint?
I mean, I don't know how to take paint and put it on the wall.
That's all you do.
Tape off the stuff.
I
know how to not fuck up.
Guess what? You know how to paint.
All right. I don't know.
You don't need. It's not brain surgery to paint something.
Dude, have you met my father?
Like I said, it's not brain surgery to paint something.
Oh my god, that's a good one. Fuck him. That's you buried him. Okay, anyway, the Subway experiment. Okay. Note by the supervising officer. Subway experiment 2 was the first time we had an observer alongside the passenger. Oh, so he was actually in there. So
yeah.
Agent Strom paid attention to the smallest detail of the Class D personnel behavior.
Of course it was Class D.
Took various fluid samples and tested organs, mostly the heart and brain, until the man became too aggressive to examine. He also recorded an excellent log of all subjects and objective events. Since the physical examination provided no special signs, except that the subject was in the midst.
It's hard to say.
It's a dumb word. It's a fucking dumb word.
Well, we don't use it that much.
The subject was in the middle of a typical nervous breakdown.
Perfect.
Said information has been placed in the document below. Only most relevant information has been included here. The two men bought passage. The prisoner represented the ticket. Immediately, he became aggravated and said to the person accepting his ticket, "What did you say to me, bitch? Are you threatening me?"
Damn.
He quit. Wait, yo. What did you say to me, bitch? Yo, Mr. White. Bitch.
Yeah.
Are you threatening me? Mr. White. He was quickly hurried along to avoid an incident and was almost immediately separated from the agent accompanying him by a pair of security guards. Agent Strom reports that the guards appeared to be in a trance and attempted to separate him from the user, softly chanting, "One at a time, please." Nevertheless, he managed to push his way through by force, although he was forced to knock down one of the officers who attempted to interpose himself between Agent Strom and the door. The guards appeared to be in a trance. Going back to the bus, when he's trying to get off and all these people are just like walking by aimlessly and trying to hold him back, not like... The ticket is not just manipulating the person's like perception of what is happening wherever they're fucking at, but it's doing something to everybody else around them.
Or it isn't, and the ticket's making it seem to the guy that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but that how is the agent reporting that the guards appear to be in a trance It's,
the agent did. Yeah.
and he's not being affected. Or
Right.
He doesn't think that he's being affected.
But he is.
He might be being affected.
But maybe he's affected enough to think that.
Oh,
See my point?
I see your fucking point. That was actually really good.
Okay.
On the train, the user became very quiet, surprising as he was one of our most violent D-class personnel. Agent Strom continued testing and interviewing until the prisoner said softly, "Let me off this fucking train, bitch." Agent Strom said that they could leave after a few more hours, at which the point user became insanely aggressive and began jumping up and down off the walls and swinging from the bars and holders while howling like a primate.
Huh.
Agent Strom knocked him out with a... I don't know, that got me.
Yeah, because it came out of nowhere.
Agent Strom knocked him out with a blow to the head.
From his truncheon. What the fuck's a truncheon?
Fucking like a billy club.
Oh, okay.
And a handcuff to a pole. To assuage civilian fears, he held up a badge that said he was a U.S. Marshal and went back to his analysis. Physical analysis indicated that the prisoner had entered an REM sleep state after only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's great. It starts with you giving me a concussion. It's
REM.
Which is especially unusual in a subject who has been knocked out unconscious. After the subject woke up, Agent Strom made the decision to abort the experiment and told the D-class subject that he would help him get off the subway as soon as possible, if he cooperated. Holding him tightly, they attempted to leave, but they were prevented from doing so by the crowd.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's the ticket doing something.
To everybody.
He can't even help him get off.
Right.
He's not being affected. He's actually trying to help him, and then it's, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, there's this weird traffic thing where it's like, even people that don't even want to be on the bus, I feel like, are just swarming, or the subway, whatever. They're just swarming.
They're just doing whatever.
Because the ticket's telling them to. I don't know. Or they're not even real people. Agent Strom attempted to exit a second time at the next stop, taking the precaution of holding up his badge and ordering all passengers to remain in their seats. Nonetheless, he was prevented from exiting the vehicle by the crowd boarding the train.
Okay.
Strom reported that the prisoner was almost pulled away from him. He was unable to determine by what means, but the claim that the hands that pulled him back didn't belong to any passengers. Fortunately, Agent Strom, who had handcuffed himself to the subject, and was unable to maintain contact with the D-class personnel, although his attempt to exit the vehicle was unsuccessful.
You better get that handcuff off.
Now in a state of panic, the prisoner clung to the agent like a frightened child, so tightly that Strom had bruise marks on his chest and his arms for days, and screamed several times that the handcuffs were slipping off. In the chaos, Strom's badge was knocked out of his hand and sustained a blow to the side of the head. So now he's getting fucking beat up because I feel like he's getting, like, it's you trying to involve yourself and try to manipulate whatever anomaly's happening, trying to get him off the train. So now it's like, hey, no, we're doing this. It's going to happen. Don't try to do it again. I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Him in the head real
And
quick. That's a warning shot.
Here's the next step, I bet.
During the ride to the third stop, Agent Strom, in a highly aggravated manner, interrogated the new passengers to find out who had hit him. No one would give him any hints or clues, and many became hysterical at the merest question or touch. One woman began wailing when Agent Strom grabbed her by the shoulder, although she was later silenced when he began shaking her vigorously.
You know, this just does not sound like a good time.
It sounds fucking crazy.
Horrible.
It sounds like these two dudes are losing their minds while everybody else is just riding the subway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they seem like fucking drug addicts.
Yeah.
Security cameras recorded Strom throwing a male passenger to the floor and striking another in the face while the D-class personnel wept and clung to his leg. Given the extraordinary circumstances, the Board of Inquiry had chosen not to reprimand him for this lack of control.
Well, because it wasn't under his control.
Yeah,
He's just
heavily manipulated.
Yeah, for sure.
Strom made a third attempt to get the prisoner off the train, choosing to take a coordinated approach.
Okay.
Using his radio, he communicated with agents at the next stop, despite difficulty due to the static interference. And now it's fucking with the radio.
Of course.
Unusually, both sides said that they heard the person talk in a small, quiet voice like a frightened child, although both sides reported that they were using raised voices to be heard over the static. I'm going back to fucking Harry Potter. I'm going to go back to Harry Potter. It's like a fucking Horcrux.
Oh.
from the ending.
Yeah.
You remember the one that was like a necklace? It's like the first one that they find. Every time like Harry or fucking Ron would put it over their neck, they would become a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
So they manipulated them that.
There
that
you
way.
go.
Another good one. This actually might be a little bit better. You remember the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser?
Mm-hmm.
The second one, his son puts on that bracelet. It's not necessarily like manipulating reality or anything like that, but it's like showing him, like giving him like hints on where to go for something.
Okay.
That the whole second movie is basically like a fucking scavenger hunt. It was at this point that the prisoner began beating on the door, screaming to be let off the vehicle. Agent Strom, although sympathetic, warned the user that he would sedate him if he continued. This seemed to dismay the prisoner more than anything else, according to the agent. No, that's not how it started. A lonely, dark ride in unknown parts of the country, travelers and drifters. The unattached. They would fall asleep with a bottle of booze, and oh God, they woke up, they'd still be going. Still be on. Don't you get it? They wake up, and even though they slept for hours, they'd still be on. Who knows where? Then he stated his intent to cooperate and curled up in a fetal position, rocking slowly. At the next stop, Agents Mac, Sinclair, and Smith and Jacobs, accompanied by Dr. Gunser, the project head, boarded the subway and began pushing their way to the crowd towards Agent Strom and the subject. Despite efforts to intimidate the crowd, the progress was difficult until Smith fired his weapon into the ceiling and threatened deadly force. The subway car was evacuated of all other passengers, and protective cordon was placed around the subject. Agent Jacobs offered the driver to shut down the subway. Or no, he ordered the driver to shut down the subway. When the driver appeared confused, he ordered that all power to the subway to be cut off. The SCP Foundation personnel, in the guise of transit authority officers, then evacuated the entire train, the platform, the station, and of all civilians. So now we're trying to get everybody the fuck out of there, but I have a feeling that every one of these agents, and including the doctor and the fucking D-class, they're just going to beat the fuck out of each other, right?
Probably.
Every agents and the doctor, because there's 4 fucking agents now, attempt to lead the prisoner off the train, despite all efforts to lead
Cajole.
and force him off the train. No efforts were successful. Strom ceased his efforts after the prisoner was threatened with deadly force by Agent Smith, screaming at his fellow agents that he is not holding on to anything. There is some kind of wall.
Oh, so no matter what, there's
And
no way
I
off.
also feel like there's something like they said that it seemed like a hand came out of the crowd that didn't belong to anybody that was in the crowd. Like
Yeah,
like
no
that.
matter what they try, this guy's done.
Yeah, you're not getting off the fucking train, bud. Pow pow. That's how you're getting off the train.
Mm-hmm.
Other agents appeared confused, claiming that the subject was maliciously attempting to impede exit by holding onto one of those supporting bars. They continued in this assertion until that it was pointed out to them the impossibility that this could have taken place, given that both of the prisoners' hands were being held by agents at the time.
So something was holding him back.
The personnel attempt to dismantle the subway around the user. We're just gonna fucking take the subway down.
So, oh, wow. While it's moving?
No. They're parked. They shut the engine down. That's right. Oh, that's super funny. Agent Strom remained with the subject while the others exited to help Foundation personnel prepare. While the equipment was being set up and everyone's backs were turned, the doors closed and the train immediately started up and pulling away from it on its own accord. The agents did not manage to catch up until the next stop, and the passengers immediately filed on, despite their commands not to. Ooh, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Agent Strom was later discovered lying on the subway platform 8 kilometers away in a comatose state. One end of his handcuffs was still attached to his own wrist, but the other was empty. Traces of blood found on the metal have been determined to belong to the subject. So
there was still... Yeah.
That was H. Strom saying, hey, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm done.
So we're going to continue with these experiments, apparently.
No, yeah, never mind. He probably just lost the fucking keys to the cuffs, I'm guessing. Well, you don't have to, like... I was waiting for his hand to be attached still.
Subway Experiment 3. Because the first 2 wasn't enough. Possibly due to mental trauma from his loss of subject 342D, Agent Strom volunteered to be the subject of the next experiment, stating that someone more knowledgeable of our terms and procedures could provide better communication. 05 and 07 or 05.
I'm guessing that's 05, 6, and 7, or just 05 and
05
07.
through 7.
Yeah,
Maybe. Well, maybe the O5 Council approved this after much pleading from Agent Strom. Agent Aaron and Dr. Haber, both close friends of Agent Strom, accompanied him on his trip. Why?
So, Strom, I get it. Like, he's pissed and a little upset about that loss, but it's also, like, I don't know what the D-class member did.
It's a death wish.
Now, yeah.
This is a suicide.
Yeah, he's a little bit upset about his loss, but at the same time, I feel like I don't think he owes anybody anything. Like,
no,
he owes it to himself to fucking not feel guilty about something.
Yeah.
Now he's going to get fucking Aaron and Haber all fucked up.
Yeah, It's just going to keep going. The ride on the subway started out normally enough, although Dr. Haber noticed that agents Aaron and Strom appeared to share a closer understanding of the phenomena experienced by Strom, perhaps as a result of their close friendship. Agent Aaron's empathy allowed Agent Strom to remain coherent and sane for the entire length of the ride, and was able to calmly and rationally talk about seemingly otherworldly events without breakdown of linguistic and mental functions. For this reason, this experiment was the most useful and rewarding, and a full log of the sequence of events experienced by Agent Strom can be found in the attached documentation. Of particular note, Agent Strom made no effort to leave the subway or even consider the possibility of doing so. The acceptance of his fate may have allowed an avoidance of mental anguish, as seen in the following log.
Okay, so this is just going to be him. Yeah, that's crazy, that him accepting his fate like that.
He's like, fuck this,
nuts. All right, we got what we need. Now let's try to get you off this thing.
No.
Excuse me?
It's too risky.
We can get separated or hurt. We know what happens every time. Something bad. I'm not taking that chance. But he's doing so well. Maybe that's all it is. A willpower thing. You're keeping yourself together. You're calm. You're composed. It doesn't control you. That's it. All it takes is a strong will to pass through the gates. If there's a test that's not here, it's at the end of it all. That's where he's going to need us. Needs our support. That's where it's going to happen. Look, we can just let him... Here's the stop. I say we at least attempt it for results.
You'll get your results. All right, Doc.
Step back. It was at this point that a homeless man traveling on the train hurled Dr. Haber across the room and broke his neck.
Holy shit! Just broke Dr. Haber's neck.
Why do you fucking pick him up like that? Oh, God, okay. It was at this point that a homeless man traveling on the train hurled Dr. Haber across the room and broke his neck before being shot 4 times in the chest by Agent Aaron.
You go.
Foundation personnel waiting at the next platform quickly evacuated them from the train on stretchers. The vagrant died on the way to base, and although transported in a highly secure ambulance, his body disappeared when passing through an abandoned part of the town, specifically under a ruin of a train bridge. Yeah, that is weird. I wonder if that homeless man wasn't even real. That's my point. It's just like...
You don't know.
It's almost like they're created anomalously, and then they randomly appear. I don't know. Are they there before? I don't. Yeah, it's
Maybe
so
they're not there
weird.
at all.
Right, yeah. But if they're in the fucking ambulance and even the paramedics get them all hooked up, and then they go...
And he's gone.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, maybe they weren't watching him.
And he just jumped out.
No. They disappeared, but they weren't like... They didn't see it. Like, you can't see what happens when the ticket changes or whatever.
Agent Aaron ordered the train evacuated and stated his intention to continue the experiment alone, remaining with Strom. Hallucinations continued as the trip progressed. Agent Aaron reported seeing flickering shadows and strange phenomena, while Strom reported more overt hallucinations, including Aaron's face melting apart to reveal a horned red face monster.
Oh, that's nice.
And metals and materials of the train beginning to melt like wax and mold and reform strangely. It sounds visually sounds awesome. Aaron has been found extremely difficult to think logically or concentrate, but he preserved to stay attached and talking to an increasingly deranged Strom.
This experiment has led to the formation of the idea that the user travels on 2 separate trains. The first, the 4-dimensional vehicle of reality, and the second, a so-called shadow train that overlaps the first. Both trains move at the same rate, with passengers and personnel perceiving one or the other to various degrees, until the real train reaches the end of the line and stops moving, while the shadow train continues. According to Agent Aaron, shortly after reaching the end of the line, Agent Strom began to slowly drift forwards towards the front of the train, passing through solid material in the process.
Awesome.
When pointed out to Agent Strom, Strom became perturbed and began to run towards the back of the train. Upon reaching the midpoint of the third-to-last car, Strom began to pound his fist in the air, stating he was at the end of the train and it's moving, it's pulling out of the station, and that he was unable to proceed further. Agent Aaron attempted to halt Agent Strom's progress, but succeeded in only knocking him to the ground, at which point Strom quickly accelerated towards the front of the train, sliding on his stomach. Fingernail marks were later found on the carpet, where he had clawed at the ground in an attempt to halt his progress. Agent Strom passed through the closed conductor's compartment door and into the conductor's compartment, where he immediately began to cry out in terror. Agent Aaron stated at this point that he drew his service revolver and attempted a benevolent termination of Agent Strom, but was unable to do so through the reinforced glass of the conductor's compartment door. His last reported observation of Agent Strom states that he saw a creature, kind of like an enormous spider but wearing a conductor's hat, looking up from the levers, wrapping Jerry in a web like a cocoon, and then throwing him through the window like it was air. The creature then turned towards Agent Aaron and ordered him to exit the train, at which point Agent Aaron lost his consciousness from terror. He was later found huddled at the back of the train car with an empty weapon, continuing to pull the trigger on an empty cylinder over and over until the weapon was confiscated from him by personnel.
It said something about a fucking spider, and I immediately thought of Choo Choo Charles.
The fuck's Choo Choo Charles?
Video game.
Oh, never heard of it.
And, you know, I've never played it myself.
Is it an old game?
No, it's, I wouldn't call it old. It's a spider train.
I've never seen that. That's funny.
I couldn't even explain this game to you because
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me, and that's why I don't play it.
Yeah.
I've seen it played, but I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going on.
Addendum 342F, Dr. Gunther's supplemental report. We set up several situations to try and not discover the controls parameters of triggers of SCP-342. First, we used a company bus and a driver that worked for our organization and had the prisoner as the only passenger. Nothing happened, even though the ticket was ripped before entering into the vehicle. We attempted numerous other iterations of the same concept, prisoners entering a company bus along with other agents, and we also each had a ticket present to gain entrance. We had them speak of this loudly and obviously, and even denied one agent entrance because he did not have a ticket. Still, the object did not change to resemble a ticket for the fictional transportation system we created. Next, we had unaware citizens entering into our bus using tickets we had previously distributed. Once again, the ticket did not change, and our rider was able to leave at any time. We then exchanged our company bus driver for drivers hired from newspaper want ads. The drivers seemed confident at first and were very excited about the prospects we were offering them, but when the prisoner came aboard, either on an empty bus or a full one, the driver suddenly became very bewildered and overwhelmed, saying the controls for our bus were too advanced or new for him, and he didn't understand the dashboard. He was more comfortable with his own bus and couldn't drive this one, even if the same model bus was used. Attempts to refresh the driver's memories as to the method of operating the bus failed further, until even the steering wheel was considered too complicated. Thoughts? I have no thoughts. What the fuck?
The fucking driver
Yeah.
is now the one.
Yeah, it just changes.
Ooh, can he get off?
I don't know. After this failure, it was determined to allow the drivers to use their own buses, making deals with the corporations and public departments in the guise of a higher-level government bureaucracy. We had them set aside a special time when they would only pick up the prisoner and when they would stop. Although the bosses were fine with this, when the moment came, the drivers refused to change their routine for egg-headed paper pushers. All of them continued on the preset pathways, saying they were just too busy or didn't have the time of day to go different routes just because someone ordered them to. Finally, we made a deal with a driver named Bucky Fullsworth that he would pick up our passenger along his normal route and would only switch with another driver, one of our personnel, halfway through. Driver Fullsworth was offered considerable compensation, was told that failure to cooperate would result in his termination from employment, was instructed to be constantly in contact with us via radio, and to stop at the fifth stop, park the vehicle, and let one of our agents get on the drive. In hindsight, we realized that perhaps the ticket was luring us closer and closer to this edge by presenting situations that were so close yet did nothing in hopes of having us just go one more alteration further until we crossed the line and allowed it to become fully active. So they're just trying all these possibilities.
I thought it was kind of fucked up. Like this driver,
Bucky?
he's not a bus driver for the Foundation, is he?
No, they hired him.
What is up with the fucking failure to cooperate will result in termination of employment?
Well, because they don't want the ticket affecting him to the point where he won't do it.
Okay. I thought that they were just going to fire him from his day job. Like, hey, if you don't do this for us, we're going to get you fired.
But they're saying
from your
they're
day
really
job.
paying the shit out of him.
Yeah,
They
which
said
that's
offerable,
cool, but-
considerable compensation. So they're saying,
it's
basically, if you don't do what we say, you're not getting any of this money.
You're being voluntold to fucking do this.
When the prisoner neared the bus stop, the ticket turned to resemble a ticket to that specific vehicle. After realizing that this would be another doomed ride, several members of our team cautioned restraint and suggested we should send an agent to accompany the prisoner. The consensus was we did not want to jeopardize a fragile situation that could suddenly fail at the slightest touch. I will admit a personal failing, as I was tantalized by the prospect of having one of our own be in control of the phenomena and the vitally important data that could be gathered. Unfortunately, our giddiness and desire not to mess with a very important, perhaps once-in-a-lifetime choice only damned another person. When the bus driver reached the fifth stop, he halted as the vehicle as instructed. However, as he attempted to leave his seat, the brakes on the vehicle failed, allowing the bus to speed down the hill, crushing a little girl crossing the street under its wheels.
Wow.
At first, we thought this was an attempt by 342 to lash out against us at having outwitted it and kept the prisoner out of his grasp. They thought it was like revenge?
That's what I'm saying. Like the ticket had
Like
this fucking,
everything is like a conspiracy theory with this thing.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
no shit.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, come on. Shortly afterwards, we realized that the important fact was not that the child was killed, but that the bus was still moving and driver Foldsworth was still in command of the vehicle. So are they saying that he could have hit the brakes?
Or if he's manipulated as the driver now, then he probably just didn't see her or saw something completely different.
Just didn't even
he said,
care.
Oh my God, look at that fucking bug, and ran it over on purpose. And said, little girl. All right, so we tried to get into communication with Bucky, but he refused to talk. We thought maybe this was because he felt guilty for the death of the child and was worried that he was going to be punished. So we tried to reassure him that if he had stopped now, there would be no repercussions. At this, we got the first word from him, a simple no. We knew that then we had to use physical force to halt the bus. Setting up roadblocks and tire treads, we punctured 2 of the tires and temporarily managed to tip over on its side. However, he still somehow managed to go onto the highway, and at this point we lost him when he went under the road. When he was found again, he was speeding, going at least 130 miles per hour in the middle of traffic in the opposite direction.
Wow.
At this point, he was a danger to the entire populace, not just the prisoner.
Oh, now they care about other people?
It's all, yeah, that kind of reminded me of something. That just reminded me of like Grand Theft Auto. Like they have like the big ass truck with the ramp on it, and you fly down the other side of the highway.
Yeah.
We told local law enforcement to stand down and chase down after him with cars and helicopters. The last statement we got from him was, "I'm not pulling over. I'm a driver, and that's what I do. That is my purpose. I do not need to switch. I can get him where he is going." After this, he shot off the freeway into open space for about 10 seconds before crashing into another lower lane. We don't know if this was intentional or not, as at this time, he veered towards the side and headed towards the rails at a slant. A bullet was put into his head by an aerial sniper from the reports.
Wow.
The bus hit the ground and exploded in a fiery blaze. There were no survivors, and the many bodies were never discovered or declared missing.
Poor Bucky.
One report of a bystander, she stated that she saw a second identical bus rise out of the smoke and pull aside the wreck. It opened its door with a large mechanical sound and waited there for a few seconds, until out of the flames came a single burning silhouette shaped like a human corpse. This corpse was said to have entered the bus and sat down, which then pulled away, smoothly navigating the pileup before disappearing.
That's nuts.
That's like that sounded like Ghost Rider.
Like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. We tried the same parameters. Rear vehicle, real passenger, real fucking who knows what's going on, and at the end of the content. 3 more times, but with the trains this time.
Oh, so they decided to do away with the buses so we don't just run over people. We'll just do trains.
Yeah, a little bit more controlled, I guess.
Yeah.
We also had agents stationed at the train each time. However, the same mix-up happened over and over again. The prisoners inexplicably went on the wrong, unsafe train, even if it was clear which one to enter. Somehow they got disoriented with the mob and entered the incorrect train, one with no personnel, safeties, or special equipment on it. From my assistant, Dr. Haber's log, following his recovery from the prior accident. Okay, so you're going to go on that train over there.
Okay.
Just present your ticket and get on. There will be a man in a black suit waiting for you near the end.
I get it already.
All right, go. No, to your left. No, don't get on. Stop. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Package lost. Damn it. Fucking son of a...
Damn it, you morons. You were supposed to track him. What the hell were you doing?
We're tracking him. We just lost. Shit. Well, what a senseless waste. It took him like it seems like that happened all in seconds. Like,
yeah,
like,
just
okay,
right away.
I get it. And then
immediately
goes to the wrong train.
Yeah. Addendum 342G, cessation of experimentation order. Oh, they decided to stop. Somehow in the course of the most recent events, Dr. Haber got his neck stuck in the door when trying to help one of the subjects exit the train. As the train pulled away from the station, he was decapitated when it went past a jutting stone ledge. Because of this and the other unmitigable casualties that happen after every normal experiment, one test subject per experiment, we have decided to end our research. 05-8, upon our urging, has invoked Statute 62, meaning that no other teams can perform trials on the object without our permission or the overruling of all 12 overseers. We have decided to grant permission if they come to us with a novel test idea, one that has not yet been done before, as the usual experiments only waste lives and grant us no additional information. Well, at least they know when to stop. On a related note, several civilians have been buzzing on the topic of a haunting, specifically some kind of specter on the train that systems that carries a mysterious bundle in its lap while riding the trains, roughly the size of a human head. We have taken in several witnesses, but under no amount of hypnosis and drugging could they give a description of the apparition's face, saying it was obscured by darkness, or tell us what was beyond the shoulders at all. And then looks like lastly, we have an excerpt from Dr. Gunther's personal log. Dr. Johannes Gettrim has disappeared from his house today. You can't escape in the end. A year ago, we tried an experiment where the ticket would be torn, but the rider would not get on. Dr. Gettrim decided to be the one to redeem the ticket and immediately afterwards hand it to an agent and walk away to a special on-site protection zone, keeping a journal of his experiences. The journal, attached to the file, speaks of severe anxiety, neuroses, fear, and paranoia. He had unrelenting fear of roads and often spent the night on site so he would not have to leave. After several weeks of not leaving work and suffering the mental and physical results of that, he was sent to a psychologist for review. He brought up his research, asked to be quarantined for his own safety and others, but the way he went about this plea prejudiced many against him and sent a ripple of disgust over his pathetic antics through the office. His tactics backfired and he was merely shunned off to some small project not even directly involving SCPs. The entire group was becoming more and more fed up with him, arriving late, sweating profusely, and looking disheveled because he had walked the whole way, refusing to accompany any field work that involved getting there by transportation, and especially at his habit of always requesting rides home, both for personal reasons and because his car, which was a brand new Mercedes, kept breaking down on the way home. After attacking a tow truck driver with his own wrench for telling him he should take a bus home, he was dismissed for an undecided amount of time and confined to house arrest. So there's just this influence of craziness is what's happening.
Once you present that ticket to whoever's fucking taking
you're in the mix.
It's some weird
a black cloud's over your head.
Fucked.
Yep. This morning, thick tire tracks were found on the suburban street where he lives. He was also reported missing by his wife, who remembers hearing him say, "Well, I guess it's time to go." Neighbors report being woken up by the sound of a loud door opening and the sound of a large vehicle driving away. A suitcase filled with his clothing was found by the side of the road. Had he accepted his fate and in the end enough to pack? Either way, he apparently didn't need it where he was going. Took his shit and then he disappeared. Obviously, he disappeared like everybody else.
Everybody else disappears anyway.
Yeah.
Addendum excerpt from Dr. Clef's personal log. At the risk of sounding melodramatic, 342 has finally taken out its oldest arch nemesis. 3 days ago, Dr. Gunser and I were going through some of his old files for archival when he came across the file for 342. Gunser removed 342 from his envelope and laid it on his desk as we discussed the object's history, as well as his own regrets for the number of lives senselessly lost in the research on this project. Our discussion was cut short by the fact that he had made an appointment to watch a showing of Repo, the Genetic Opera, with Dr. Wrights and Kondraki later that evening. I noticed that Dr. Gunser became somewhat perturbed shortly after presenting his ticket at the door and asked me to go on ahead and save his seat for him. He arrived shortly after and sat down next to us, although he seemed preoccupied and distressed throughout the show. Given the subject matter, I believe this to be a normal reaction to the grotesqueries on stage. Afterwards, as Kondraki, Wrights, and I discussed retiring to a bar for drinks, Dr. Gunser stated that it was time for him to leave. Handing me an envelope and warning me to keep it safe, he thanked me for a splendid evening and wished me the best in my future endeavors. He then boarded a taxi cab, which sped off unusually quickly into the night. That's so fucking crazy looking. Upon opening the envelope, I noticed that there were 2 identical tickets for his seat at the musical, one of which transformed into a $20 bill as we approached a trendy bar with a $20 cover charge.
They even covered the cover charge.
Wait a minute. It transformed into a $20 bill.
Yeah.
So once you spend that money,
Yeah.
wherever you spend that money, you're fucked. That bar is not going to be trendy.
Yeah.
Realizing what had happened, then I proceeded rapidly back to the place where Gunser had boarded the taxi and ran back down the street that the taxi had taken, followed closely by my confused colleagues. The street, as it turned out, was an alleyway that ended in a brick wall 50 feet from the street. Fucking boom! Gone.
Yep.
Oh, no trace of Dr. Gunser has been seen since that time. It is my belief that 342 took the form of Gunther's ticket to the musical, redeemed itself at the door, and thus doomed him in the same fate as its prior victims.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gunser, upon opening his wallet to purchase a beverage, realizing what had happened, returned to the front door to recover 342. Given that the SCP's prior murderous history, he must have made the decision not to inform us of the incident, keeping us safely ignorant for the time being. When I think of the amount of mental fortitude it must have required to remain calm during the musical, knowing his inevitable fate, I am struck with a sense of loss at the passing of an immensely valuable asset to the Foundation. For this reason, I am requesting that the file be permanently sealed and no further experiments be carried out on this item. One disturbing development. This is all disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
Prior reports indicate that 342 can only take the form of a ticket for mass transit, whereas in this case it did take form of a ticket to a stage play.
Yeah.
I understand that there is a group in the Foundation that is seeking to reopen experimentation on the object in the light of these new developments. Further updates
as advance warrant. And there is it must mutate.
Into 3122 description is a series of consumer satellite navigation systems produced by the now defunct Elvix Electronics. The anomalous effects of 3122 manifest when the following conditions are met. The following conditions are currently active. Journey on 3122, an estimate to take over 3 hours to complete. The vehicle in which 3122 is situated has currently undergone at least 2 hours of programmed journey, and at some point the following 2 hour mark, 3122 loses its signal tracking. No specific cause of the lost signal required. All right, never mind about that. Never mind about Elvix Electronics. I'll save it for later. 3122. Okay, because that fucking threw me off.
Yeah.
Further updates as event warranted. I'm sure the ticket's going to appear.
Which is, yeah. Now,
And
the fact that it mutated from a mass transit to a single ticket to a musical or whatever that
and then
was.
it turned into a $20 bill.
And then it turned into a $20 bill. It's evolving, or not just mutating, changing, whatever. Maybe in an effort to acquire more victims.
Obviously, having like that ticket that like manipulates into something that you needed to or whatever, that's super cool.
It
Like,
is. But
like the outcome and the effect of it's terrifying.
well, yeah, because it kills you and you disappear.
It tortures you.
It tortures you as
And,
well.
and then it kills you.
Yeah.
The torture is the worst part. Like if the ticket tore on you got on there and then you died like of
Right.
natural causes or
Immediately
whatever,
had a heart attack, panic
yeah,
attack, and heart
that's
attack.
whatever.
Yeah, but the fact that it's drawn out to the very end
There's a lot of hallucinations of you freaking the fuck out.
and the fucking
And
subway melting.
Not only did it evolve into the fact that it was turning into something else, but it went from, the subject being not the passenger, but the fucking
Yeah.
driver. It had to be affecting everybody around it.
Right.
Not everybody, but certain things just to manipulate whoever its focus was on.
Okay.
So the focus being on like when it was Strom and his D-class guy, and everybody's pushing him back. They're not getting through, and like even those people probably just like don't even know what's happening.
No, they're just
They're
controlled.
also completely oblivious to the fact that there is something else that they're doing some sort of, I guess, manipulation or whatever
Right.
influence.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Oh, it's an easy 4.
It's like a very visual 4.
Yeah.
And I fucking
Yeah, it was.
it's- I don't know what's keeping it from being a 5 other than
Keeping it from being a 5 for me because there's like no resolution. It's still there, and you don't know what's coming next, as we got referred to.
and they even said like
SCP
what
in the
you know
3000s.
like even if you take a ticket and you rip it and then it just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
forms back into an unused ticket.
Yeah.
So there is no destroying it.
No, because it'll like if you take a ticket and you tear it in half, you got 2 tickets. You take that ticket and tear it in half, you have 2 tickets.
Yeah, and I'm totally on Strom's side
Yeah.
when it comes to trying to get the D-class guy off, even though like he might be a big piece of shit, but he doesn't deserve to be tortured like that.
Right.
So I'm gonna try and get him off, and then when you lose him, I can see why that's devastating. But like I'm not fucking trying to go on there as the subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the why is it not affecting the age? Well, it did. It did affect Strom. Not in the beginning, but he was also able to get off on his own when he's not actively helping him out.
It affected him enough that at the end he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
So it really did affect him in the long run. It's like PTSD or something.
Well, that's definitely that's kind of what drove him to get back on the train in the first place.
I mean, he wanted to do good and help the Foundation, I'm sure, but I think more so he was just done.
It's definitely what you go with the Black Mirror thing. That is definitely it's very visual driven. That's what I like.
I
like
see
that a lot
this as an episode.
Yeah, I like that a lot
know?
about a lot of SCPs when it comes to stories or anything. Like I can read this shit and then picture some of that crap, and then obviously making the connections what I was doing there. This was very like it was a very visual heavy
good
one.
pick, golf clap.
And a banana.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a roll. It was a pick.
This would be the 4th one that we read from her. There was the counting station. I think that was the first one that we read where there was like the timer was going down. And then I think that you had to do something before the timer ran out because people would die. Kids or something would die. The drain snake in the YMCA. And the prison.
Right.
The jail cell. That was also very torturous.
Now we got this. Yeah, there's a theme here I detect.
Yeah, what's going on with Anna's?
I don't know. We need to find out.
She
check on her, will you?
Yeah, so she picked this one in particular. She wanted us to read this one today. I did say if we had enough time, but this was a long one.
It was good though.
I liked it.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to. Well, I guess we'll just have to do 2 Anna reads this month because I'm pretty sure we missed it on April.
That's
and
fine.
I feel bad. So
We'll get there.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Yeah, easy 4. I'm saying like a 4.2.
You have to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future episodes.
Yeah,
so
if you guys enjoy us,
if you're listening to this and you're new, please
thank you.
thank you for listening.
Absolutely. And
If you made it this far,
yeah, then you're in our group.
It's us and Bro Guy.
That's right. Whoever, we'll get a little teeny tiny following and grow from there. Please, everyone, make sure you keep reaching for the stars, keep your head on the ground, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm back. Adios. I'm going to leave it with Matt coughing in the background. Yeah.